Shout to Jennifer Jones Austin, my co-host. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Dougie in Atlanta, Georgia, 1380 WOAOK. Dougie, you're on Keeping It Real with Jennifer Jones Austin and Al Shout.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, great. Yeah, I started digging into climate change about 4 months ago because I was concerned. I in the past I had always felt, there's other people who are scientists and professionals who are dealing with this issue, and I'll let them deal with it, and I'll concentrate on other issues. And I thought, well, I better start researching this because what if worst case scenario Donald Trump is elected president? And then when Donald Trump got elected, well, first, of course, there was this initial shock, but I had to take into serious consideration of just how threatening this is, not only just for the remainder of my life, but for my kids and my kids' kids' lives, because the people aren't completely aware of what's going on with the climate. It's not by surprise, because there's been a campaign from ExxonMobil and the Koch brothers over the past 40 years to put doubt in people's minds that climate change isn't real, that it's a hoax, to go against all the scientific research, to ignore the Arctic and Greenland, to ignore the melting of the ice, to ignore sea level rise, to ignore the massive coral. Right now, 30% of coral reefs are dead. They've been bleached because the carbon dioxide, the trillion tons of carbon dioxide that we've pumped into the atmosphere over the past 130 years from the Industrial Revolution, not only is it filling up our atmosphere, but now it's filling up our oceans. The oceans now, over the past 40 years, are 30% more acidic. And a billion people count on food from the ocean for survival. So by 2050, half of coral reefs will be gone. By 2050, if we continue on with business as usual, the majority of the planet will face drought. So we'll have a hard time feeding the 7 billion people on the planet. So this decision by Donald Trump, I think that he should be held, he should be charged possibly with mass murder. Because 25 to 50 years from now, when these ice sheets are gone and the glaciers are gone, we're looking at 20 to 30 feet of additional sea level rise. So the majority of cities around the world are by the coast. So we're looking at basically if we could possibly be facing the collapse of civilization from our destruction of the planet, and the fact that this country, 50 million people voted for this person, it just shows you the level of ignorance. And I've always tried to be optimistic and feel that, to see the best sides of people and have hope in humanity and faith in humanity, that when put into a situation of great crisis, that we could all come together to save our future for our children. But right now, coming up here in an hour when Donald Trump makes this decision, and to go against the 195 countries of the world, who, I don't know if you've seen this, Reverend Al, but in Sri Lanka, there's 600,000 people who are displaced from flooding, and that's because the atmosphere has 7% more water in the atmosphere. So we're facing torrential rainstorms, like rain bombs, where the places get a year's worth of rain within a 24, 48-hour period. This is the type of stuff that we're going to be experiencing in the future, but it's going to be even on a higher or worse scale. So it's depressing.